like to give the member of County Assembly for Kapkugirwet Ward to welcome students from Chemugusu Primary School. Honorable Martin Cheruiyot, please give your remarks.
From Chemugusu is a neighboring school. That is my village. So I'm very much happy. Let me say you are most welcome. I know you learned something here. This assembly is assembly of representation. We do representation here. We do oversight. We do legislation. So I know you love an opportunity to learn. And I know you also aspire to be leaders someday. So this is a place for you this time. And let me say, this is also a place that these leaders transact the business of this county, Kericho County. And as you've seen, there are new things, of course, I know you've seen. And let me say, it's this assembly, county assembly, is a replica of National Assembly. So we represent you. We do actually what our electorates send us to do here. So you are most welcome. You'll have time maybe after this session, we'll interact and you'll get to know more. So let me say most welcome. Honorable Speaker, these are students I know have been to their school pupils and they're hardworking pupils, plus teachers who are here. So let me say you are most welcome. You learn something, and then Honorable Speaker, we'll have time maybe afterwards, after the session, then we'll interact and say more. Otherwise, most welcome, all of you. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of the Committee on Education, I'd like to give the Honorable Vice Chair to welcome the students so that we can proceed. Welcome, Honorable Matthew Korir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Also to extend a welcoming remark to Chemugusu pupils and the teachers. I know that they have been accompanied here by the teachers of the said school. Mr. Speaker, it is a learning process for the people from Chemugusu today to understand the procedures of this honorable house. And I want to welcome them and ask them, don't leave this county assembly premises even without taking photos with your area MCA. I know it is a privilege for you to learn. You have been going through these studies, listing the number of counties that we have. I know that you understand we have 47 counties. And also we have 47 county assemblies, and we have one national assembly and one senate. That's a total of 49 assemblies that we have in this country. So here in the county assembly, we are doing majorly representation. We represent you here because we cannot all from Kapkugirwet Ward come to the county assembly. But we sent one representative, that is Honorable Martin, to represent all of you. Another thing is that we are doing legislation. Legislation, we do policies and laws that will govern and provide systems that the county government can use. Another thing is that we are doing oversight. When we see our projects in our wards, that is the work of the area MCA, to do oversight to the executive. We do oversight to the executive. When we do budgets here, we make sure the implementation is done, but it is only through the area MCA. So for the students and for the teachers, it is a learning process, and we wish you all the best, even as you plan and you are preparing to sit for your national exam. We want to wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Clerk, proceed with the next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, we have a statement by Honorable Philip Mutai. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity. First, I want to welcome the pupils from the Mokusu Primary School. That's a neighboring school to my ward. And I want to tell them, since I hear them, they are candidates, I want to wish them success in their coming exams. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to raise statement on the loss of life at the Katera T. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to Section 9 of the County Government Act 2012 and Kericho County Assembly Standing Order number 48, Section 1, I wish to seek a statement from the Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on the following issue. 1. The circumstances under which a middle-aged person lost his life at the Katera Tea Farm, that is Jamchi, on Thursday, 20th July 2023. 2. What has Ekatera done to support the family of the deceased person overcome this loss at such a time when the economy is not doing well? 3. What measures has Ekatera T put in place to ensure that justice serves for the family of the deceased person? 4. What safety measures has Ekatera T employed to safeguard its employees from external aggression of the security firms and law enforcement agencies on suspicion at site? 5. What has the county government of Kericho done in ensuring the safety of employees in the private tea farms? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you so much, Honorable Philip Mutai. This statement is raised to the Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. I don't see the chair, Justice. Who is the vice chair? Or a member of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee? You're a member, please indicate so that I may see you. Member of JLAC, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. Who? Honorable Fancy, you remember? Okay, fine. So please, I'll give you a chance to acknowledge and you give us the timelines on when you can bring this particular report on this pertinent issue. Welcome, Honorable Fancy Korir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this chance. Justice and Legal Committee, we are saying we are seeking for the 14 days so that we may go into the matter. But I'm saying this is just a complicated matter. It needs a lawyer or somebody who does the law so that we go to the bottom of this matter. Otherwise, members are requesting that they want to discuss the matter further before we go to the committee. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay, I hear you. I see you've recorded for 14 days, and you have also indicated that members would want to ventilate on this matter. So based on the standing order number 1, I will give about 5 minutes just to hear what members want to add on this matter. I'll start with Chair Rhodes, Rebel Gilbert Ngetich. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Also to start by welcoming the pupils from Mokoso Primary School. that is in Kericho County. Welcome to this assembly. You are just learning a process which is obvious, a parliamentary process, which will eventually make you learn and also envisage to be in such a place in the future. Now, Mr. Speaker, I'm surprised and perturbed when a statement is read and member is claiming and telling the House that the matter is complicated. And they are telling us point blank that they require an indulgence of a lawyer, which of course the Assembly has lawyers. Mr. Speaker, I want to inform the honorable member that whenever a statement is raised, we expect a candid report after the days the member has really allocated to work within. If it is 14 days, whether complicated, simple, we need a report which is candid, which will salvage a situation in a family in which that demise emanated from. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, with all due respect, I request you to give an order, a very serious order on this report, because these are complicated matter, but we need a report pertaining the same to also ensure that in this house we work on justice to all families in this county. And this, I wish the chairman, Justice and Legal Affairs was around. It is a matter which we saw. We went with some honorable members to the hospital. We saw our son who was shot. We don't know the reason. We were not there. So this is the time for the House to be informed by the committee of what transpired until we lost such a life. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable Anita. Then I'll give to Honorable Matthew. Then I'll go to Honorable Eric B. Honorable Anita, proceed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I think I'll start with welcoming the students who are here today to learn from this honorable house. And just to respond to the statement that has been raised, Mr. Speaker, sir, the matter of the statement raised today is something that has really affected most of us in our respective areas of representation. I, being a member from Chemosot Ward, I've really been affected with the issues affecting the health and the peace and most probably the security within the areas that the multinationals, the Katera, are working with. And I'll just mention this, Mr. Speaker, because the statement has kind of directly mentioned about the recent loss of life. And the same has happened in my area in cases whereby people or there's fights between either the security and the neighborhood, and I've lost about 5 lives through drowning. Like people go over to do whatever they want to do, and if they have issues, the next thing I hear, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that there's a loss of life, someone has drowned. And the same issues, unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have not seen how they're even being handled from the company or the organization level. We understand that they have their own policies. But today, as an honorable house, the latest incident that someone was shot, some of us attended a fundraiser for the same issue. But unfortunately, it becomes a community problem where we don't see even the organization coming or the company coming with their support to support the bereaved family. So I want to believe the committee that is handling this issue will work on this to the latter. That if they are responsible for the lives, for the death of these people, we want to see the company, the multinationals coming out and taking responsibility. There was a fundraiser yesterday. There was a fundraiser the other day at Premier. We didn't see a single contribution from them, even to say pole, to say sorry to the family. And we want to take this seriously, that we will not be burying our sons and daughters, and the responsible organization is not taking responsibility, of these issues. And yet it is black and white that we know they were involved. So I want to urge the committee, let's not bring a shallow report here. That will not help us to get to the bottom of the problems that the people in our community are going through with what is happening with security. Let us even agree on, if someone has done a mistake, are they supposed to shoot to kill? Are there other ways that the police can use if someone has actually interfered with their business? But I don't think they're supposed to go to the level of shooting to kill an individual. So, committee, we are looking up to this report very seriously so that we can be able to help our people who are dying day in, day out. Some are even silent. The other day, we lost someone with the tractor issue. I don't know what happened. We just saw videos. Someone was walked over with a tractor harvesting the tea. But we don't know if there is anything that has happened to that family up to this date. So, Honorable Speaker, sir, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Matthew. Correct. And just use just 1 minute to make your point.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity as well, so to comment on the statement raised by Honorable Philip. I think it is an opportunity for us to discuss the welfare of our people. In fact, Mr. Speaker, if there is someone who was much affected, is me and Honorable Barrett, because this young man was coming from our borderline, and I want to thank the honorable members who come during that arts time, Honorable Anita, Honorable Ngetich, and Honorable Harold and Irene. One, Mr. Speaker, I think also on the statement, the Committee on Legal also to consider, to find out how far as the government investigation agencies have done their investigation. Because yesterday, the culprit was released on a free board, Mr. Speaker, while we have lost a young man like Brian of 21 years old. I think, Mr. Speaker, it is high time for the committee. I know the way you have put it, Honorable Member Fancy, that it is a complicated matter, but I want to confirm to you, if you work with the DCI, IPOA, find out these statements that was raised. Find out these statements that these young people, the eyewitness, provided, if it is solely the statement that can help. In this committee also, I want to advise you, if you'll get time, kindly meet with those young people who were with the deceased during that time, so that you'll find out to know what was the real cause of the death of Brian. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Eric B. And just choose 1 minute because you have just given time for ventilation of this statement. Yeah, kindly.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity just to contribute on the statement raised by Honorable Philip Mutai. I think with your directive, Mr. Speaker, understanding order number 1, we agree because the matter at hand is a bit weighty, and what the Honorable Fancy, who is a member, she's just a professional person, actually doesn't have a legal perspective. I want to believe that, Mr. Speaker, she's telling us to ventilate so that you can add some flesh on it, Mr. Speaker. So firstly, Mr. Speaker, the reason of raising this statement is that to save our election, Mr. Speaker. We've seen what is happening in this country, and we don't want this issue to happen within our county, Mr. Speaker. The issue of shoot to kill. You were shocked when we heard that somebody was shot by a police officer, Mr. Speaker. And people are claiming that the same person really alleged that he is the one who shoot to kill. That one is injustice under the Constitution of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. 55 of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, doesn't allow. There is no place allowed for the shoot to kill. If you are shooting someone to kill, is someone who is a suspected criminal. I believe Brian was not a suspected criminal, Mr. Speaker. He was just a person walking around that place, and he was not having any intention to do anything pertaining the Katera system, Mr. Speaker. So we need justice to this person, and we want to request the committee. Just do this work diligently, have time, deliberate on what Mheshimiwa Matthew was saying, that we need further investigation. We need you to involve. Any report you are coming up with to this house should have actually engaged the high power so that they give you guideline, and we also need other further directive from other leaders, Mr. Speaker. So we need engagement. This is a report which has come to this house at the right time. And we want to end these skirmishes. We don't want to have any other person killed within our county, Mr. Speaker, when we are seated as a leader of this county assembly. We want to engage this issue once and for all. So I want to request and encourage honorable member. If it was another way, you should have done even the HADOC, if it was possible to do an HADOC committee, so that they do investigation further for this report, because we don't want to have issues being raised pertaining our people being killed. Killing someone, Mr. Speaker, it is not easy to the family, even as leaders. I saw the way Honorable Matthew was crying. He really cried, Mr. Speaker. And he pleaded that why should someone kill as young soul, a person, without even any other issue, Mr. Speaker. So I want to request this committee do the investigation, involve other agencies, and give us the report within 1 or 2 weeks. We don't want you to say that you don't have a legal perspective. You are the committee, you've been bestowed to do the work. I wish the chairman, Honorable Kipsirene, Mr. Speaker, should be in this house, Mr. Speaker, so that he can tell us how is he going to deliberate on the same issue. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Was a point of information? Honorable Gilbert Ngetich, as he has raised his hand first. Before I give to Honorable Irene to contribute. So,
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for this second opportunity you are giving me, only to put some information and some order to the honorable member, Eric P. He's talking of a foreigner called Kipsinende in this house. And what I know is that Kipsinende is a village in Kipkelion Ward, Kipkelion West, Mr. Speaker, Chilchila Ward. So I don't know whether he's referring to the village or the honorable member. I don't know. I request, Mr. Speaker, that he comes back again and tell us whether he's talking about the village to chair the committee or the honorable member by an official name, please.
Yeah, so before I give to Honorable Eric B., you need to come and clarify what you mean by Kipsinende, because from the records of this assembly, you don't have an honorable by that name. So would you be on record? Which member are you referring in this case?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think I must apologize for using that name. But it's a name being during campaign time. There are names, even me, I'm called Maji, and I don't deny. But by and large is that he is Honorable Simeon Koske. That name, he doesn't, all these members doesn't even remember the name. That's why you're seeing them laughing. Thank you very much.
I would like to remind honorable members that we refer ourselves by the official names. And I would like to encourage that all of us should know the official name of all the honorable members, so that we do not call ourselves with the names which are used in political outfits, since because we are here and we use official names as required. So thank you for that. Honorable Irene Langat. 1 minute.
So thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir. The matter at hand is so weighty, and so weighty especially to all of us, and mostly the people who come from that particular area, that is Mheshimiwa Matthew, Mheshimiwa Aaron, and maybe Dominic. We were there when the whole thing, when the whole news was broken, and we saw the pain and the suffering that the community has passed through. It is so bitter. It is so painful, especially for us mothers, losing our sons through such brutal cases. From the information that we got from the boys, the 6 boys who went there, of course, there is a boy who never, who could not even speak for at most 4 days because of the brutality, the scope of brutality. It was so painful that Brian was told to sit down before being shot. And it is somebody from our region. And that is so hard. So we need this thing to be dissected and a solution be sought once and for all. And from the look of things, because I come from across the T-belt, if this thing is not sought in advance, more things, more worse things will come, because the community, there is a beef between the community and the multinationals. We are not happy when we see our people being killed, being butchered by our multinationals. If that is the case, we will not wish to have them, because if they are torturing our people, then it is a sad state of affairs. So we need this thing to be looked into very critically and solution be sought. And it has to end, or else we do not know the fate of these cases that keep on recurring. So welcome one of our students from Chemagusu Primary. Karibuni, welcome we are welcoming you as Education Committee. Thank you.
So lastly, I will give to Honorable Chief Whip, and then I will request members that since, I'll give 2 more members, because we have been ventilating on a serious matter affecting the county of Kericho. And as you know, we are not debating. We are just giving your views, because the committee will handle the matter. So as you contribute, just know that you are shedding light, giving more ideas on how to solve this problem at hand. Chief Whip Karib.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and honorable members and let me take this opportunity to welcome pupils or students from Chemagusu Primary and their teachers. Mr. Speaker, I only want to add my sentiments that the boy that was actually shot, Mr. Speaker, stayed in his grandfather's homestead, that is in my ward. And as it has been mentioned, adversely mentioned, the boy's home is just near Kapsoit ward. Mr. Speaker, I want to say it's actually a very sad day that we are discussing an issue that ought not to have actually reached this far. Mr. Speaker, I want to also confirm that as we've been told, the boy was actually shot, I don't know, 2 times or once, and losing his life. The other day, we had a fundraiser that is in Kabianga Junction, Premier, along Kericho Sotik Highway. And it's actually very shocking and saddening that 21-year boy being shot, and the boy was actually cooperative, that when he was got with the police, he was told to sit down, Mr. Speaker. When he sat down,
we are told by the colleagues who were there together that, in fact, even there's a video circulating. If most of the members have seen that the other boys who actually recorded video when they were shouting, "Why are you killing him?" You see, so to me, this was actually a murder. I think it should be treated as murder because you see, shooting someone who is actually cooperative and who's not done anything probably he had no harmful tools probably to defend himself. That is very bad. Mr. Speaker, number two, I also want to join hands with my colleagues in the issue that they have said this thing should be done conclusively and precisely with a lot of care. Because you see, as we speak, already the security agencies have already taken the precise measures of the same, up to and including IPOA. And I believe IPOA will come with a report. Kericho County team will also come with a report. We will also come as an assembly with our own report and table before this house. So I believe, Mr. Speaker, this thing will be sorted, and I believe something of the sort will never happen to our people. And that one we will not accept as their representative, Mr. Speaker. We will not sit down, see, and just clap or talk. We will need also to tell head on, probably those who are the owners of the multinationals, that they should also treat our people with dignity that we deserve. So with those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I want to say I join hands with my colleagues in actually wishing the family, assuring the family that they are going to get the bottom of this matter. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. I'll give to Honorable Weldon Rogan, then I'll go in that order. But just take just a minute just to ventilate so that all of us can have a feel of this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. These statements come at a time that indeed so many wrongs have happened in the multinationals. Mr. Speaker, I can raise only two issues so that the committee, when they sit, will be able to know the atrocities that the multinationals has meted on the people around. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Anita raised an issue whereby somebody drowned when they were chasing him after finding out that they were plucking tea illegally. Of course, nothing has happened. The story died. Mr. Speaker, a while ago, there was a kid who was killed by the tractor. Again, nothing has ever happened. Now, this one, that the officers manning the multinationals shot that young man and killed him on the spot, is something that the committee ought to take the measures needed. That is why, Mr. Speaker, I urge the chairman and the members of the committee of JLAG to conduct a thorough investigation, report to this house for the relevant agencies to take action against the officers who took part in the killing of that young man. Mr. Speaker, lastly, and maybe we need as a house to also rethink how these multinationals are carrying out their business. Because at the moment, they seem not to care even the people living around the multinational. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge this house, even as we progress, let us come up with serious guiding laws that will make them work with us conducively, because we are losing so much. And lastly is to again welcome our pupils from our neighboring school. They are here to learn, because one day, they'll also be here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Bolpi.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance. First, allow me, Honorable Speaker, to welcome the pupils from Chemukusu. Having in mind that the pupils we founder, I come from Kapsaos, and some of them, I dare to believe that I come from my ward. So I welcome the pupils and their teachers, and thank you for availing your time to come over here and see what we normally do in the assembly. Honorable Speaker, I'm sorry, I came in late when you're deliberating on a very important matter concerning multinationals and our people. Have in mind that I am the most affected. I lost some lives in some months ago. And I really want to thank one member, that is Honorable Fancy, because he's a lady who's been, championing so much about what is happening, in the multinationals and in between our people and the multinationals. Recently, I was also in the sides of Bureti when the incident happened. Then when the other fellow was shot. Honorable Speaker, I tend to believe that this time round we are indeed serious, because the other time I had called some members to come over to my place when things were hot. But it's as if we had not, internalized what was happening. What is happening in between multinationals and the locals is not so pleasing, because they've taken our people for granted. Indeed, yes, I know there's much they've done in terms of CSR programs, but killing lives is not something we should take it, so lightly. So I really want to urge the members and the committee concerned that this time round we need to go down. We need to discuss deeply and see a way out of this particular problem. I know at some point we had gone to Bomet, to discuss between the leadership of Bomet and Kericho County, and a small committee was formed. But I dare to believe that committee was formed just for PR purposes. I have not seen much, I was one of them, I was picked, but to date, and my good friend Mheshimiwa Matthew was also in, but to date, Mheshimiwa Speaker, we've not been called to deliberate on the same. Otherwise, I want to urge these members and the committee concerned, please go down and let's find out, the real cause and the way we can work with these multinationals. Thank you, Speaker, for availing me at this time. Thank you.
Honorable Martin, at least you had raised your hand. 1 minute, then I'll give to Honorable Martin, then we'll end from there. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity you have given to me. Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious matter. And this is not a casual statement. This is a very serious statement, and I want to encourage the committee, JLAC, to work on it seriously. And I want also to second what Honorable P said. We should form an ad hoc committee. Mr. Speaker, losing a life is not a symbol. Mr. Speaker, if these companies are coming, then our sons die, our mothers die. Let them go to their country and leave us with our poverty. We have our own code we can provide. It's not a must that they must be there. So we don't want to lose other lives again, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker, our students from Chemokusu, welcome, plus your teachers, welcome to our assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Martin. Jeruyot.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for once again giving me this opportunity also to ventilate on the statement that is raised by the Honorable Member, Philip Mutai. Honorable Speaker, it's a weighty statement, really, that is very shocking, having heard that this young man who was shot had surrendered. And this is a very clear indication that some people doesn't have dignity for life at all. I want to request the committee that is concerned, that is CHELAC, to go in depth in this matter. And I would suggest, like what the rest of the honorable members, Honorable Bia said, that Honorable Speaker, we form an ad hoc of this committee, so that, or even we co-opt the members from the tea, bordering the tea plantations, because I'm seeing, Mr. Speaker, that this act that has been committed in that part of our county will possibly will stir some tensions even in the rest of the places. Having in mind, bear in mind, Honorable Speaker, that the Ekatera as nowadays is using the police officers to guard their plantations. In a way, also this one creates tension even in our people. You know, when people, mothers, old men, and even our youth see police officers, armed police officers along these areas, these boundaries, somehow it brings some tension. So what I would request, maybe even for the committee, is that a lot needs to be done. This is not a small statement. It has a lot of weight, and it will impact also the way we are going to move on even in future, even to these Ekatera people, how they'll be transacting their business, and even relation that they'll be having between them and the people that is bordering their farms. So I would request that let this statement be done seriously. A very comprehensive report should come out of it, and I would request that maybe we form another committee, or the members are co-opted from areas bordering these multinational farms, so that we also make some input concerning the same and recommendations, Honorable Speaker. So otherwise, thank you so much for the opportunity, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
So thank you so much. Having listened to the contribution from members of this Honorable House and the nature of this matter, which is very weighty, and also listening to the sentiments from the Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on their commitment in 14 days, I direct as follows, that the committee is hereby given 14 days to deliberate on the matter at hand conclusively, and also to ensure that the legal team from the County Assembly of Kericho gives you the much support needed to ensure that within the 14 days we have a report table in this house once you have finished the investigation. In regards to forming another committee, it is not granted at this time, because we want to ensure the committees of the Assembly does their mandate. And the chairperson, who happens to be myself, will be available to guide the committee in terms of attaining the outcome of objectives of this particular statement raised today, to ensure that this statement is well addressed, as raised by Honorable Philip Mutai, moving forward, because we want to ensure that committees perform their duties. I believe all of the members have an equal task to ensure that they perform their duties in the committees given. And so therefore, the Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs, please note the 14 days begin today, and you must table a report. Whether it's going to be a full report or interim report, you have to give a report to this Honorable House for us to ventilate moving forward. And also remember to also add the contribution for members. There have been concerns raised in other wards, like in Kapsao's ward, as mentioned by Honorable Bolpi, in Chemosod ward, Honorable Nita Biegon. Also in your committee, ensure you also incorporate those other issues which have happened in our county, so that this report can be conclusively address the issues surrounding the loss of life in our tea estates in our county. So, honorable members, there being no other business, this assembly stands adjourned until today at 2:30 p.m. Thank you.